now.
The beat is
and I'll tell you the other day. I was in the world. This yours. And I'm like, this ain't talking like this. So whoever you think is the best, they not making the world is yours. They're not making If I Rule the World. They're not making Juicy. They're not making Warner. They're not making Sky's the Limit. They're not doing it. They're not making Can I the Hustle. They're not making The Evil. They're not making Pop. They're not making it. No disrespect. I'm a rapper. I'm not making it.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. You get that pure dough.
Cut the middleman
they're
out.
biting your style.
You gotta cut out the middleman.
Yes, you go straight to the source.
That's where you get it from.
It's me, Handsome. We back with another episode of Verse for Verse. I mean, it's like...
I was gonna ask, was that a metaphor in the intro music, right? Because we're rappers.
Yes.
So we're the source.
Yes.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I realized, this is a record I got is not out. When this shit gets popping and y'all start asking for the record, then I'll release it. But until then, it's just the intro to the show.
Yes.
But it's funny as hell because when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this is the record I want to use for it because, like you said, it's the source. But at the same time, we really are the middlemen because the source is the rapper.
Yeah, but we're also the rapper.
And I'm just saying.
But we're also the middleman.
That's yes.
Ah.
You feel me? But that's why I chose it. Ding ding. So we are back with another episode of Verse for Verse, and we doing a lot of legendary stuff here. You know what I mean? We've done legends. We've done Jay-Z. We've done Eminem. We've done Andre 3K. We've done Lauryn Hill. We've done Tupac. We just did somebody from Wu-Tang.
We doing a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at this point, Nas is like,
it's only right to talk to God's son.
Yes.
The
nasty one. You know what I mean? Like, we got more legends on the way, but we gonna talk to God's son today and break down some of his heat.
Nasty.
And this is another one. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. Nas is in my top 10. Don't all come for me at once. He's not in my top 5. He is in my top 10, but this is my brother's, one of his favorite guys growing up. I don't know where he's landed now, but I know growing up, Nas was one of his favorite guys.
Nas lands in my top?
Yeah.
Top 5.
Okay. So
he's actually number 2.
So this is why I reached out to him and said, listen, I got some verses, but I know you are more of a fan than I am. I'm going to let you pick today's verse.
Yeah.
And this is what he came up with. Talk to them about the verse that you picked.
Outstanding. So I'll pick the second verse on Nas's. Like, I was gonna do the third verse too, just because of how wild it is, just this concept. But I think Nas is like, this song itself. First of all, let's start right there. Primo on the beat. I mean, I remember when this video dropped. Like, it was crazy to me. Like,
I have no idea what this video looks like.
I was just like, he can rap so well. First of all, mind you, I'm younger, so it's not like I grew up with Illmatic where I was like, oh, he's the greatest ever. I knew he was nice, because, Hate Me Now is out already, you know what I'm saying? Hate Me Now was on this album. Hate Me Now is the first single. What's that? It was like the most expensive video, I think, at the time.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? When he had the Tigers and Diddy.
Yeah.
And then so you went from that fly, it was big budget, to Nas is like, he in the projects, like, it's dirty, it's grimy, Primo on the beat. So it was just like, oh, wow. So yeah, man. But you want me to just get into it? Get into the verse? Or y'all want to talk about it a little more?
I think let's get into it because, like I said, I like Nas a lot. I can rap a lot of Nas verses. Boom, I could just give them to you. You know what I'm saying? Pause. And, like I got certain Nas verses that are amazing to me. Yeah. But,
But as a whole, you don't look at him as top 5. What is it that you feel like he's missing, or you? Not that he's missing, obviously, but that it's not for you. You feel like other artists.
And I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Better.
It's not even that it's not for me. It's just, listen, my top 5 is retarded. I'm not going to lie to you guys out there. Graph is in my top 5, and I will say this, and half of you people don't know who Graph is. So right there, you can
My name
tell.
Graph, y'all.
You should know who he is.
But it's like I don't have Nas or Biggie in my top 5, so people can call me names all you want. I choose my top 5 specifically
they'll call you
off of a certain way people rap with entendres and stuff. I'm into certain things, and
It's all subjective.
Exactly.
T-shirts
So
coming soon.
That's
No
my
phone.
top 5.
It's all subjective.
And it's not about being the best lyricist, but it's about creating certain records, things I can relate to, flow and records. You know what I'm saying? Nas has some of the best records
don't understand
ever.
You don't mean that he nice. That's what how you
Nas
feel
has
about
some of the
Nas?
best records ever. I mean, we're not here to talk about one mic, but we're gonna get into that one day. But Rich, go ahead, rap some of this Nas is like, man.
But it's fire.
So Nas is like Earth, Wind, and Fire, rims and tires, bulletproof glass, inside is the realest driver. Planets in orbit, line them up with the stars, tarot cards, you can see the Pharaoh Nas. Nas is
Slow down, slow down,
crazy,
slow down.
man.
Slow down. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, he's comparing himself to things right now, right? That's what he's doing.
if
He's
you know-
making a list of comparisons.
I mean, if you've seen the I Am album cover, it's obvious what he thinks he is.
he's one
He's
of the
a pharaoh.
greatest. He's
Yes.
a god.
It's a god.
He's a king.
Pharaoh Nas.
The Pharaoh
He told
Nas.
you.
The album cover is him as
With
a
the-
pharaoh.
with
and
the
the gold
Egyptian, yeah.
and it's called I Am. So like I said, we saying off camera, this is that manifestation rap. Nas was in a different place. He understood things, and he was putting it in raps in a way that I think was so fly because it was street. It was mad street, but it was like still conscious, and it was dope.
Okay, keep going.
Real quick, Nas is like, I also want to say this. Nas is like, so he's explaining himself
That's what I'm saying.
in a metaphor form through the whole verse. And just by starting with Earth, Wind, and Fire, I think like the whole verse he's saying, like
the
he's
elements.
everything.
Yeah, that's
he's
what I'm saying.
everything.
And
And as we know, we are everything. Anyway,
Son.
all right, so Nas is like Earth, Wind, and Fire, rims and
Yikes.
tires, bulletproof glass, inside is the realest driver, planets in orbit, line them up with the stars, tarot cards, you can see the Pharaoh Nas. I am Mike, Messiah
hold
type.
on. Nas is like,
I am
crazy.
Mike, Messiah type, before the Christ, after the death, the last one left, let my cash invest in stock. Hold on.
came a long way
From blasting texts on blocks. But
These
listen,
niggas been talking like this for so long.
man, he was like 19, 20 years old on this
So
album.
long.
You know me, I don't be caring about none of that. But
I mean, caring about what? The fact that he's saying he's the best since before Christ and after Christ, the last one left. So that's the
respect
thing.
it. I
That's the thing
respect
about
it.
this verse to me that's so crazy. It's bad to be talking about like, the contrast and just giving the visuals. He, in a very simple form, he's saying he's the nicest.
Yeah.
If
Facts.
on the simplest level.
Facts.
But then
Which-
he doubles it up by just giving you all these other metaphors to explain that. And then if you want to go deeper, he's actually giving you life lessons.
I'm gonna tell you what I hear, which is crazy to me. BC and AD. You know what I mean? Like, because as the beings we are, you know what I mean, depending on what you believe in and the dimensions, you know what I mean, we've been here before.
This is what he's trying to.
You know
he's
what I'm
a
saying?
pharaoh on it. He didn't put Jesus on the cover.
We've been here
That's
before.
what I'm saying. He understands history.
He understands this is easy to him. I've done this before. This is
Before
light.
the Christ.
After the death.
The last one left.
I might have done this a couple times over, honestly.
How many lives have I lived?
This
This
is light.
Yep.
the last one left. That means infinity.
And because he knows this, how can you be greater than him?
Nas is like,
If you don't know this, you can't be greater than him.
But even when you started though, he said Nas is like
Earth,
earth, wind, and
fire.
fire, which means that he understands that everything came from him. He came from like the whole circle of it.
Yeah.
The creation of everything. He is,
and just on some smooth-ish bulletproof glass inside is the realest driver. Like for me, when I hear that,
Fly shit.
I get a
Nah, he
different
talk- he
type
talk-
of
nah,
vibe.
Nas talk that fly shit, man,
okay, he be
always.
talking so fly. First of
Always.
all, let's not jump over. He's Iron Mike, Messiah type. Let's not.
he's giving you greatness in any way, in any
Any-
lane
any
that you could think of
form.
something great. he's saying
Because
that's me.
shout out to the.
Especially
I'm
at that
watching Mike Tyson's show on Hulu right now, man.
That
Hulu,
show's
man.
mad funny.
Mike is a wild boy.
Yes,
just
he
who
is.
His hot
he
boxing
was.
joint.
He's
Yeah,
crazy.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, man,
Shout out
Mike's
to Mike.
crazy.
Word.
But
Shout
yeah,
to the
man.
champ.
So boom. So before the Christ. Oh, God, sorry, go ahead.
The last one left. Let my cash invest and
Oh, is
stop.
this, are we still on?
Came a long way. Came a long way from blasting text on blocks.
Yeah. Went from
Seiko to Rolex, owning acres from the projects with no chips to large cake though. Dimes giving fellatio, siete zeros, bet my non-spit for the pesos. But what it's all worth, can't take it with you under this earth. Rich men died and tried, but none of it worked.
Stop.
Yikes.
I mean, we can finish. They rob your grave. I'd rather be alive and paid, right?
We're gonna go back anyway.
That's what I'm saying. But I
had
had to get that bar out because it goes with that line. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, man.
First of all, this is where he gets into the plight, the hood, right? Because he's
why
saying
I
he
love
came a
that.
long way. Because first of all, let's not skip. He ends before the Christ, after the death, the last one left with let my cash invest in stock, right? So even from there, he's explaining he's always thought differently, right? And fast forward to nowadays, he's considered one of the best investing
moguls,
rappers ever. You know what I'm saying? From the
When
deals
this
that
came
he's
out
done.
again?
Let's look it up. It had to be, it's the second album. So first one was like, what, 93, 92? So it's probably like 94, something like that. Look that up, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, so he's talking about, now he starts talking about money, right? Cash, invest in stock. He came a long way from blasting text on blocks. He went from Seiko to Rolex, owning acres from the projects with no chips to large cake dough. And now he got dimes giving him fellatio. Then he starts getting bilingual on them. Siete zeros.
man,
And bet his
Spanish.
non-spit for the pesos.
And that was the Nas Escobar right there.
Escobar.
Those was Escobars.
Escobar.
Those were Escobars right
Like
there.
Nas is one of those people. Like when you
Word.
hear him rap, to me, it's just like he's so fluid in how he jumps in and out of the message. Like it's like he's talking all this, conscious, smart stuff, but he's doing it in this like regular way. Whether when you hear like no disrespect to nobody, but you might hear a comment, he has that approach. Like he has Black Thought. They got like these type of approaches that's very like, I'm technically rap. Nas has, I think that's to me what makes him special is he toes there's this line of like the streets and consciousness. But you was gonna say something.
So I mean I don't like even when I read rhymes like this, I like to really get in deep with them pause. Like so when he says he came a long way from blasting text on blocks. But then he says, Dom's giving fellatio, siete zeros, bet my non-spit for the pesos. Does he back to blasting guns? I'm confused a little bit. Because he said he came a long way from doing that, but then he goes back to doing it. You know what I'm saying?
But I think he's saying this is what he's coming from. He keeps going back and forth, right? Seiko to Rolex.
Okay.
Owning acres. You know what I'm saying? He's going back and forth.
Even if you get into, though, the people that came from whatever they came from, if it's necessary to revisit,
we know who his brother is, right?
If it's necessary,
if you look enough to
revisit,
go too deep into his story, they've been outside.
I bring that up to bring the next part up because he says it right. Bet my non-spit for the pesos. I bet my non-spit for the pesos, right?
Yeah.
But
what is it all worth?
Exactly.
Can't take it with you under this earth. Rich men died and tried, but none of it worked. They just rob your grave.
I'd rather be
alive and paid
which is my
before my
that's my
numbers
favorite
called
part.
history's made.
So
what?
And he ain't asked me yet. That's my favorite part of the verse.
I was gonna say the dope
That
thing
part.
about that line right there.
That part.
Heavy.
It's like, everybody says you can't take it with you when you go, you know what I mean? But
Then he explains it a little deeper.
But there were people back in the days who tried, you know what I mean?
The thing that's crazy too is that he says he's the Pharaoh Nas, and they were the people that tried to take it with them when
This
they
is not.
This is what
I'm getting into. Seth, don't cut me
my
off
bad.
like that. Don't cut me
my
off
bad.
like that. I'm taking it there.
out. My bad.
I'm
My
taking
bad.
it there. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So, when he says that, you know what I mean? The rich men died and tried, but none of it worked. It's because it's the pharaohs. They tried to die. They buried them in these tombs with the gold and all of that.
And what happened?
And they all get robbed. People is trying
They
to steal
just
that.
rob your grave.
Yep.
But then once again, it's symbolic because the money doesn't really mean anything. If you die with money, like that's cool and all, but like what have you done? You know what I'm saying? You can't take it with you, like, and that's another thing. Like once you die, the money don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think, and all of the street stuff, that's what they in the streets doing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get paper.
This guy's been investing since '99.
Same.
That's cash investing stocks. He had to know something.
He's crazy.
He's get into the deals he got into.
Got one of the most impressive portfolios of a entertainer person.
And as an angel investor, because that's really what he's done. Angel investing.
See, it's crazy. I wonder where he got this from. Because, you know, when we talked about Pac having certain people give him information. Well, I guess it's Pops.
I was
going to say it's
big
Pops.
in his life.
Facts. Pops, dope. What is his name?
Shout out Strong Fathers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops.
Shout out to Strong Fathers, man.
Word. Facts. Shout out to y'all.
Putting it together, making it work.
I'm going to give my Pops
Go watch that AF.
Word.
Keep going. Where we at? They've just robbed your grave. I'd rather be alive and paid.
Mm-hmm. Before my numbers call, history's made. Some will fall, but I rise, thug or die. Making choices that determine my future under the sky. Mm-hmm. To rob, steal, or kill, I'm wondering why. It's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? Much success to you, even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is. He called himself the Messiah in the beginning. He knows who
Pharaoh,
he is.
the Messiah, and the prophet, all in the same verse.
He knows exactly
in
who
one
he
verse.
Is. He knows exactly who he is. He's everything. I
Pharaoh,
am
the Messiah, and the prophet.
Is any man worthy of fame? What does that mean to you, Seth?
It's a dirty game.
Yeah,
I think that part's important to put in front of that because I think that's, to me, that's how I read it. It's like this game of fame is dirty game. Like no righteous person goes through this unscathed. Like you kind of got to be a part of this nastiness.
That's
to
facts,
do it.
Seth. But,
yeah, I have to get that off. That's one of my favorite parts.
But I agree with what you're saying. But I also think that the fame itself is something that you say, are you worthy of fame? So fame is a cost, like more than people take fame as if it's like an asset to have, where it's like fame is something that you're trying to live up to. Just be you. He's saying he want to be alive and paid, live his life and do these things where if you want to be famous, you're trying to put yourself into a certain...
You go deep with all this talk about God-like and all that type of stuff. Maybe it's like no man should be worshipped like that also. Yeah. You know what I mean? Is any man actually worth? And I forget, I was just watching somebody talk about this. Like, being famous, people worshiping you is kind of awkward when you think about it because we all gods. We all have the same abilities. So to see somebody else do something and be like, make them famous is kind of strange if you believe in what we believe in.
That's a fact.
I mean, is any man actually worthy of this?
And then when you get into famous people, a lot of times when you see them, because I'm not famous yet, but when you see famous people speaking about being famous, you give up your life almost to be famous. You cannot go outside, you cannot just take a walk. You know what I'm saying? Like people, all of your social stuff has to be hidden. Your family is attacked. All of this type of thing. So it's like,
I also want to just touch on this line, man. Some will fall, but I rise, thug or die, making choices that determine my future under the sky. I just feel like these type of lines that he's saying, it's like, this is
that's
not
a beautiful line.
That's what I'm saying. It's not every day people are talking like this.
Line.
Like we all know the choices we make gonna affect our lives, but when you put it poetically, I think especially for young dudes in the hood, it's like when you thinking about every decision that I make is gonna determine my future. Right, and it's like what Hanson was talking about. Like we talk about these lyrics about the streets and what he's doing in the streets. It's going back and saying, "This is what I'm doing." Because some will fall, but he'll rise, thug or die. So it's like he might do some thug-ish, you know what I'm saying? But he understands that every decision that he makes determines his future, and this is why he's trying to be righteous at all times. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, my favorite part. I didn't get there yet.
Go ahead. You're on a roll. You keep going.
I mean, I love this verse.
Keep going.
My favorite part of this is, I realize that I like lyrics that I feel like I be saying to people, and I can relate to. But like when he says, "Much success to you, even if you wish me the opposite, sooner or later we'll all know who the prophet is." It's like, it's so gangster because it's like, I don't care how you feel about me. I'm going to show you love because that's who I am. I'm a righteous human being. And we're going to see anyway.
Yeah, the world is going to take its toll. Like, you don't got to sabotage nobody.
And you can't stop me.
Yeah, the world's going to take its toll.
And I don't have to tell you either. I can tell you all day, but whatever. So much success to you, even if I be saying that like to people, even if you wish me the opposite, it's all
That's a
good.
fact.
I tell everybody one of my favorite lines is from my boy Frank Nitty, where he says, hurt people. Why you think I'm blessing you? You know what I mean? So it's like,
That's fire.
you feel
Shout out
me?
to
It's
Frank
like,
Nitty.
Word. The ice.
if you wishing somebody's downfall, you praying on somebody's
Something's
downfall.
wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You are lacking
That's a
somewhere.
fact.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got
So
time for that.
for me, it's like, yeah, man, that's a heavy line because, you know, we all come from a place of, I ain't gonna say we all. I mean, obviously, there's some people who aren't haters out there who've never hated in their life, maybe. But, you know, we've all, I think, had a time of maybe jealousy or envy growing up, whether you're kids, you know what I mean, teenager. But you get to a point in life where it's like, what Jay-Z said, what you eat don't make me You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing. You can congratulate, and that energy will come back to you.
Because it's enough in the universe for everybody.
Facts.
That's a fact.
And that's what people got to understand. It's enough for everybody to win. We could all win.
That's a fact. So, you know, we almost running out of time here. So, Seth, what's your favorite part?
Right before that, really, when he says, but what's it all worth? Can't take it with you under this earth. Rich men died and tried, but none of it worked. They just rob your grave. I'd rather be alive than paid before my numbers call.
History's made.
That run right there.
Oh, man.
Before his numbers called,
History is
history
made.
will be made.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he was right.
I mean, normally if somebody picks a part that I like, I'll pick a different part, but that's also my favorite part because that's just real.
Yeah.
That's just so real that, you know, we hear this line all the time, can't take it with you when you go. But it's because people try to take it with them when they
That's a
went,
fact.
and they still got robbed for it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, don't do it. You know what I mean? Invest it, get it together, have your kids get it, and you straight. Like, I don't even understand that. That's a whole nother conversation, how these kings and stuff was keeping all this gold with them. Like, where they family? They couldn't give it to them? But I'm going to research that
Before
now.
the Christ, after the death.
When we get out of
The
this
last one
episode,
left.
I got to figure it out. Why did they
The
do
last
these
one
things?
left.
Like, I feel like that's
Pharaoh
the
Nas.
illest way to say the greatest of all time.
Son, earth, wind, and fire.
It's the greatest way to...
This is verse for
God's
verse.
son. Word.
That is Nas. Nas is like, what
nasty
album
one.
is that, Rich?
I am.
I am.
Top 5
Nasty one,
alive.
right?
Nas is like...
It's me
Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff.
and some. Let us know your favorite Nas verse. We will be back with more Nas verses and more legends. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middle, man. Then you get that pure dope. Get that pure dope. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middle, man.